So have you watched your husband talk to women on the podcast?
Yeah, I listen to every single podcast he does. I've also been on the podcast, and I debate women all the time myself.
Okay.
In fact, I was listening to you earlier describe how you think that men should pay for dates with women who want to be equal, don't want to give them children, and also want to have their own careers, and that absolutely blew my mind.
You don't think that men should pay on the first date?
Oh, I think they should pay on the first date for women who are going to be wives, not for women like you.
I wouldn't be a wife?
Not if you're going to refuse to give a man children, have to have your own career working outside the home.
It's not refusing to give a man children.
No, you're a roommate. Why would a man pay for you if you're just a roommate? Do you want to be equal or no?
Well, I have a conversation with my partner, and we've discussed having children. I'm not taking away from them having children. We've decided together that having children is probably not the best idea.
If you're equal partners, why should he pay for your stuff?
Because a man at the beginning of the relationship should want to prove that they are invested in the relationship.
So what are you proving? Like, well,
I'm there.
If I was a man, I'd be like, hell to the no, to the no, no.
If it's not equal, what do you?
I'd be like, no, thank you, ma'am. You can pay for your own supersized McValue meal, and I will go find a woman who actually wants to be a wife if I'm going to pay for shit.
You said
makes no sense.
You said your equal 50% is just being there. So does that mean he's doing 70% because he's paying and there too? You're both there.
No, but I think
So how is that
showing the investment. Women show investment with time, because if you do want to have children, there's limited time. But I think that women, they value different things. Like, they value when a man provides for them, especially on a first date, a first meeting.
And men value.
So you providing your glorious presence is what he's investing in.
If he values my presence, yes. I don't really see
Well, I mean, simps are going to simp. There's a simp out there, for everyone. So
I don't think that's the right way to go about it.
Oh, it's simping. That's the worst simping ever. I'm going to let you live at my house for like practically free and split the chores and pay for all your shit. That's simping. That's like the definition of simping.
Or just like a guy who genuinely likes you. Do you pay any bills with your husband?
No, but I'm a stay-at-home mom. I raise the children. I cook all the meals. Andrew has never done a house chore ever in 17 years. I do all of that. I bring him his food. I bring him his drinks. I keep track of his schedule. Basically do anything he needs me to do to help him, because that's my duty in the relationship. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about investment, I'm pretty invested. So he feels like, if I want this traditional wife role and I actually do all those things, then he feels like it's worth it to provide. But if I were to come in here and be like, well, I want my own career and you have to do your own laundry and we're going to split the chores 50-50 and I want to be equal, he'd be like, okay, bitch, then you can be equal and pay for all your shit. Why would he pay for my stuff? This makes no sense. You guys have to choose. Do you want to be strong, independent, equal women? Or do you want chivalry and protection and provision? You want the best of both. You want all of the rights and all of the privileges, and you want none of the duties and none of the responsibilities. And that's bullshit. It's like you didn't have a mom to tell you that this isn't how the world works or something. Like, my daughters don't get that nonsense from me. I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
So if your daughters...
Why are you so entitled? That's what I want to know.
If your daughters went on a first date, you want them to split the bill.
What's that?
If your daughters went on a first date, would you want them to split the bill?
Only if they're going to be feminists, which they're not, because I didn't raise them to be that way.
Okay.
So, that's how my parents' relationship is. It's like, my mom does the same stuff that you described, and I think it's perfect. Like, my mom might not be contributing to rent. My dad makes the money, but she's contributing something else. She's doing a job that's just as equal as his job, but she's not getting paid because she's doing the household duties that she's doing the same thing, whether or not it's being paid. Like, my parents are fortunate enough where my parents are fortunate enough where my dad makes enough money where she doesn't have to work and she's able to provide those things. Therefore, it's the same thing as money, in my opinion, like spending time and working around the house.
Yeah, I mean, it even goes beyond division of labor. It's more than
right.
about division of labor. Like, I have tremendous amount of respect for Andrew. He is the head of the household. He's the person that has the major burden of most of the responsibility. We've had a home invasion. He was the person who had to go deal with that and risk his life. You know, he's worked 60, 70-hour weeks for years so that I could stay home and our kids didn't have to be raised by strangers in daycare. I mean, there's a massive amount of responsibility on this man, and he's extremely competent. He is a really loving, honorable man who has like very firm boundaries and stands by them and takes very good care of his family. So he gets the big piece of chicken, he gets the respect, he gets the love and the admiration, and because I'm loyal and I'm doing all those things, then he provides for me and protects me and the kids. And yeah, I mean, this is how it works. Now, if you don't want that and you want this egalitarian stuff where we're equal partners, he's my partner, then you got to pay for your own shit. And you got to do your own work, and you better, like, you know, take care of all your own stuff, and don't expect the man to go answer the bump in the night, because you're strong, you're equal, right? If you're equal, you can go take care of that. You can go deal with the man that breaks in the middle of the night. You can change the tire in the rain. If the basement floods and there's sewage backing up into it, I guess you can go deal with that, right? So you just have to choose. Don't do this bullshit where you're like, we're equal partners, except for when there's anything dirty, dangerous, difficult. That's all his job. I just sit here and grace him with my glorious presence. That's entitlement, that's narcissism, it's terrible behavior, it's ruining society. And then on top of it, you feel no obligation to produce future generations. You want him to just let his lineage die with him. And you feel super entitled to that too. It's like,
I don't understand why you can't get the concept that I've talked to my partner. I'm not taking away his ability to have children. We've both agreed we don't want to have children. If he doesn't want to have children, I'm not taking that away from him.
To be fair, I did say he's a pathetic simp. So, I mean, that's right in line with being a pathetic simp. You just,
I think he would just respect women's choices
until I die. It's just. You guys are selfish materialists is what I'm getting. Life is about me and my comfort and what I want and my, I live for me every day. I wake up with no thought of the future or any duties or responsibilities I have to anyone other than myself, and that's great. So it's like, if you want to live that way, I guess, but I'm just looking at you and I'm listening to you and I'm wondering where this entitlement and this sense of confidence is coming from.
I'm entitled because I don't want to have children and I like when men pay on first dates. That's entitlement.
Well, what are you useful for?
I would say that women have intrinsic value.
What are you specifically?
Well, I'm a woman, so I have intrinsic value. Sad that you don't see that.
Why? How?
Because I'm a person and everyone has value. It depends on who's looking at you.
Do men have intrinsic value?
Yeah, they do. But I said that it's different. It's a different type of value.
But feminism is about equality. So if it's different, then how is that equal?
No, they can be equal in the sense of they can both work. You can be a stay-at-home mom and not pursue a career. That's fine, but women should have the opportunity and the choice.
So do you think women should work too?
Women should be allowed to work.
No, I mean, like, in your relationship, if you're not raising kids, should you both, in your marriage, let's say you get married, have a job, both of you?
Yeah, but I think that a woman's job could be a little less harsh, I guess. Like, women shouldn't have to go work some 9 to 5 and do this climbing of a corporate ladder. But like for myself, I've found a job that allows me to stay home and is not super strenuous. And I think that a lot of women should be able to have the option to either stay at home or work.
What would you do?
Lol Paladins donated $69. W to Rachel. L to fat prostitute feminists who have no value and TikTok whores who hate men and provide no value to society. The problem is they had mothers, but their mothers are bad people.
My mother's amazing, and I love her very much.
It's wild to me because you asked, do I hear how my husband talks to women?
Giovanni
I actually think he's way
donated
too nice.
$69. Don't forget,
There's two more
first
coming
Chair
in.
did as well,
Thank you, Jim.
including BG, and said she couldn't remember if she ever did B/B/G. Pretty sure anyone that's got gangbanged and posted it would remember.
I have not gotten gangbanged, and BBG is not the same thing as a gangbang, but okay.
Threesome. Have you done a threesome?
Not two guys.
GMD Jim donated $69. You called him your partner. Partners split expenses.
2 more
He
after
is
this.
not your husband. He could just hire a cleaner and a prostitute
Thank you, Jim.
with a nice body. You are just too ungrateful, leech.
I don't think he would agree with that, but okay.
There's another one coming in. Random Bear.
Random
thank you.
underscore bear donated $69.
And one
Rachel
more.
be like, I got out of bed for this, and look this good. I will bring the heat.
We must.
I look terrible. I look
No.
terrible, but thank you. It's fine. It's
Wait,
fine.
you're shaking your head. A star. That's not very judgment.
Judgment.
Also,
Love your
Rachel looks very dapper. Rachel looks very dapper.
Jeff
I
Bader
literally
donated
just like put on face
$200.
cream and was like
Rachel is
tucking myself
Titus
into bed, and
2:45.
Andrew comes upstairs. So
Rachel is Titus 2:45. What's that?
that's the Titus 2 wife. It's like a description of like what an honorable woman is and how she acts and operates in the world. So thank you. That's a lovely compliment. I certainly have my flaws. It's not like I'm over here being a perfect wife or anything, but the point is I try and I care about,
Brian's
trying to
lint
do
roller
something
donated $69. Rachel is out of the kitchen, but she's still fugging, cooking.
Okay. Now, since Rachel also came down, she wanted to address, I guess, your criticisms. You said, Andrew, he has animosity towards women and that he hates women.
Yes, and so does she. And
Captain
Oh, boy.
donated
Oh, boy.
$69.
Found someone just
I
as
definitely
mean-spirited.
take a bullet for the girl in the white crop top. This girl is based and hot. The world needs more of that. She'd be a great woman for any man.
Or girl.
I want to address the gal with
I'll
the pink
pause the
hair real quick
TTS.
because I did hear her say that. It is not hatred to criticize women. It is in no way hateful to notice when women are acting like entitled narcissists and to call them out on that. Like I said, all the women at this table could tell me all night long about what they think they deserve and what their rights are and what they should have and what they ought be able to do. But none of you can tell me what duties, responsibilities, or obligations you have outside of yourself to society, to the people around you. You would say things like, I'm smart and I'm funny and I'm just a really great person and I'm a good friend and, all these worthless platitudes. But there's no like sacrifice. You don't ever feel you need to sacrifice anything for anyone outside yourself. You're not willing to have sleepless nights so that you can raise babies and produce human beings that are going to go out into the world and have a legacy and have an effect, right? You're not really willing to do much of anything unless it benefits you. And then if someone questions, if Andrew comes on here and says, let me poke around and see why you think these things. Let me see if there's any logic behind your beliefs. Let me see if you even understand why you believe the things you believe. You think that's hateful. You think that's misogynistic. You think he's mean. No, it's just that you're used to being treated like a child princess and being carried around on a cushy little pillow in life with absolutely no opposition, with nobody ever going, hey, wait, what are you doing? What are you providing in life? What are you doing for anyone else outside yourself? You haven't ever been challenged on anything because you're a pretty girl, right? I'm young and
not
I'm cute.
true.
Why
You
are
don't
you
know me.
questioning me? Why are you so hateful? Where's all the trauma? No, I'm just a 44-year-old woman who's actually lived, raised 5 children, worked really hard in my life for everything I have. I take care of, other family members. I help at my church. I do things that aren't just for me. So when I see girls that behave this way and have this mentality, you're damn right I'm going to come on here and say some shit, especially if I get dragged out of bed to defend, this little girl that's saying my husband must be traumatized and hates women. It's just garbage. You're full of shit. You have no idea what you're talking about.
So these are
I
the
hope
people
that
of
helps.
the Orthodox Church? You guys seem lovely. I would love to go to the Orthodox Church.
I think you're upset
so
because
sweet and loving.
coming from someone
Lovely.
who I know personally, I'm not a 10. I am very self-aware in that regard. I think that there might be animosity coming from you because you're maybe not as good looking.
Oh, I'm definitely not. I've been on the show. I've rated myself. But I grew up in an era where we didn't all think we were models. When you were growing up in the 80s and 90s, everyone didn't think they were a 10. Like, all of us girls who were not going to have modeling careers or be the hot cheerleader, we all knew that, and we were fine with it. And we didn't think we deserved 6 foot, 6-pack, 6-figure man. You know, we were just like happy to meet a nice boy who liked us back. This was before
But you're
Instagram
calling
and all
those
this
boys
crazy narcissistic
simps.
insanity. Huh?
You're calling those boys simps.
No, I'm calling your boy a simp. He's a simp. That's simp. A nice boy who likes you isn't the same thing as some absolute goober who's going to pay for all your crap.
He's not paying for
expect
everything.
anything.
I'm just saying at the beginning of the relationship, on the first couple dates, a man should take the investment and pay for the first couple dates.
She's not paying for everything. She said that his family's paying for some.
Yeah.
And I think it's only fair that I pay a portion of rent,
For a girlfriend?
mortgage.
You're not even married. Like, why would his family pay for your stuff? You're not
They're
married
not.
to this
You
guy.
Said that
They're
his
not.
brother or something about
They
the
all
apartment.
own
like a
a
Nepo
home,
family.
and I help with
She pays the water
some
bill.
of the bills.
She pays some of the mortgage.
I pay some of the mortgage.
But
pays the
that's not
water
even
bill.
my question is, it's not even fitting to the dynamic that you're expressing so much interest in. Like, you're expressing so much interest in not only the first dates, but that you also want to be supported by this person. And this
I don't
dynamic,
think that means not paying any bills or doing any sort of housework or like helping in the relationship. Like, I don't think that it's entitled. I just think that it's a better dynamic long term for a man who has the financial stability to be with them rather than a man who doesn't have any sort of future plan to provide for you.
Do you think the woman needs a future plan, though?
I think that women should, and this might be controversial too. Is she gone?
she's here.
She's still here?
still here.
Oh, okay. I think it might be controversial, but I think women, even if they're not working a traditional 9 to 5, should have some sort of money saved up separate from their husbands in case there's domestic violence or there's divorce or things like that. Like, you should have some of your own income.
I don't think you need a keepsake of, like, if there's domestic violence. I think, like, you
For
need
your
to
own
be contributing. Yeah, like, you should feel safe in your relationship and, like, pick something. If you want a job, just, and that's equal. Or you could do the equal housework and have kids. Like, there's an equality thing that's different. Feminists believe that there's equality, but you're talking about things not being equal.
I think it is equal. Like, I am
going to jump off here because Andrew's going to come back, and I am actually going to go to bed. But does anybody have any like final questions or phones to pick it
I
all?
think Star back there had like a thing she wanted to come back and say.
I'm just curious if anyone on the.
Sorry, what?
I really don't have anything to say. I'm just curious if anyone else on the show has brought up like internalized misogyny to you.
Yeah, I get it every day of my life. So you don't know
Oh,
my background,
okay.
but I wrote a book about the history of feminism and how almost everything that the normal person thinks about it is actually wrong. The way that the feminist liberation movements unfolded is garbage that was rewritten history by women's studies departments. And I debate feminists all the time, so this is normal for me. Of course, I've heard absolute garbage bullshit like internalized misogyny. It's not a thing. It doesn't exist. It's pure cope.
Okay.
I love women, but I do think that women have proper roles. And I think that the problem with you and most of the other girls that have a problem with me, is that you don't understand that this modern world and all this beautiful technology around you that you're sitting in right now, if it weren't for men building that and maintaining that, you would have no illusion of being able to be a strong, independent woman and have all these choices and do what
But
you want.
why do men do all of that?
They do it because they're benevolent and they are good. Isn't that crazy? They're actually really nice and they care about us even though they don't have to.
But they're getting
If men
something out of
If men
you.
were as bad and misogynistic as you think, they would put us in cages and we'd be, baby farms. There would be baby farms.
I think you might be a little bit of a baby farm.
Because they could. No, they could.
You're
They
a bit
could
of a
do that
baby
to us.
farm. Haven't you popped out 5 children?
Yeah.
You're
I'm
a baby
mother.
farm.
Oh.
I
is
think
that
that's the
supposed to be
ultimate
an
form of
insult?
sex work, actually.
What's that?
I think that I think that you popping out 5 children is the ultimate form of sex work, because without those children, would your husband provide for you?
Degrading language. Wait a minute. Why are you using degrading language? Popping out babies. Popping out babies? So you're against people having babies?
If you didn't provide children, would your husband marry you?
No.
Exactly.
Why should he?
Exactly. So you're a baby farm to him.
Marrying someone is also about starting a family.
Yeah, a family.
These are my children
baby
too.
farm,
You
essentially.
should be so lucky because you're going to die alone.
Okay.
Early.
Thank you so
early
much.
on top of that. So
Thank you so
I mean,
much.
if you would you like me to go wake up my children and get them down here too, so you can tell them that they're like gross little
I don't think it's appropriate.
That
I don't think it's really
popped
appropriate.
them out, that they're the result of baby farm. I mean, take your little snarky little insults and shove them up your ass, because
Okay.
Do you think
it's
your
women
parents
like me.
did that?
It's women like me who are doing
my parents only
what
had
women are
one
supposed
child.
to do.
My parents
You
only
are
had one.
useless. You are a useless heifer who has never done anything except
You're
glorify your
a
own
great
desire.
woman.
Be nice.
You're a very godly woman, aren't
Both of you be nice.
You started it. Hey, you can dish it out, but you can't
I
take
started it. Didn't you come on? You're
called
talking about
me a
McFlurries
baby
or something.
farm. You called me a baby farm, and now you're going to pretend to be offended? Get the fuck
I
out.
said you're the ultimate sex worker, actually.
Okay.
Or she's a
Yeah,
mother.
me being devoted to one man for 17 years and giving him
You're the
children as
ultimate.
sex work.
You're the
Okay.
ultimate
So your
sex
parents
worker.
are also part of a baby farm because you were born.
My mom had one child and she
What does that
also
have to
worked.
do?
But I know that my parents would have gotten married without having to have children.
If I milk a cow, the cow's still providing milk, though, even if
On
I
the
only milk
farm.
him once. So you're
Now
calling
look,
yourself.
we don't believe that marriage is only for the purpose of children. Had we gotten married and for some reason biologically I had a medical issue and could not give Andrew children, he would not have divorced me and he would not have left me. That's not what we believe in. We believe that marriage is also a sacrament of our church. You don't get divorced for a reason like that. However, why would a man marry a woman who's giving him nothing like you are? You don't bring
So you just
anything
don't value
to the man except
you don't
what?
value women for just being us. Like you just don't
I
see-
value people, but that's different than what a man would want to get married for. Why do you not understand these basic distinctions?
a man could want to
Same-
get married without wanting to have children, but that's not what your husband did with you, honey.
No man does
Honey.
that except for a simp. Or
No.
some guy who's just
Some men just don't wanna have
who doesn't want a
children.
family.
Sweetie. Sorry.
Sweetie, honey. Yeah, I love these feminists are always, sweetie, honey. They get so sassy, but this is going to be
You're
Clip's
very
gold.
sassy.
Yeah. Well, listen, I was dragged out of bed because you're sitting here insulting my husband and saying, oh, your wife must be some victim or there must be trauma. Maybe your wife is bad to you. You're saying all kinds of personal garbage. And then when I come on here and tell you what's what, you're like, how dare she? She's so mean. She's not a good Christian. It's like, well, then don't say this stupid shit, lady. Don't come on here and talk a bunch of smack. And then when I come down here and set you straight, you're like, oh, I'm shocked and offended.
You definitely didn't set anyone straight.
Oh, well, the chat disagrees with you. And it's
Okay.
straight, not straight. I don't know.
What do you
Women
have?
do this
I think
weird
it.
thing where they say
You're just
strawberry. and
pandering.
I think it
You're just pandering.
shows. I think it shows the type of woman you are. The fact that you got out of bed and came down here to not only defend your husband, but to defend women at the right instinct that they should be in. So
Hell, the main reason I do the stuff I do is because I was really shamed for not going down a career path. I had a full college scholarship that I declined because I wanted to be a mom instead, and everyone around me thought it was some massive tragedy, that I was going down the wrong path, I was going to regret not being a career babe. Everybody said, oh, it's such a shame you're just a mom. And turns out there's nothing I could have done with my life that's more meaningful than having 5 children, raising them well, and being a good mom. There's nothing I could do in the career world that's going to last the way that will have a lasting impact in this world. And I was shamed for it, and I was made to feel like, oh, I was losing somehow in life. So yeah, I don't want other women to feel that way. I want to stick up for women who do want to be good wives, who do want to be good mothers, who think that that's a worthwhile thing to do with their lives. and not have them be subject to being called baby factories by disrespectful, chunky heifers with attitude problems who can't even properly articulate a single thought in their head. So, with that, I'm going to go to bed, and you guys can talk to the nice Wilson instead. Maybe you'll feel better now when he comes back.
Continue pandering to men.
Rachel, shoot.
Good night, Rachel.
I was gonna let
Love you, Rachel.
I'll let the TTSs come through. I had to pause them temporarily just so we could allow Rachel to have the back and forth. So a couple TTSs are going to go through. We're going to try to wrap up the show here pretty soon.
Well, practicing gentleman donated
thank you, man.
$69. To all the women, how often do you receive an honest opinion about anything from an adult, straight male that is neither related to you, nor wants any kind of romantic/carnal relationship with you?
How often do you receive an honest opinion from an adult straight male that is neither related to you nor...
Mike Davis donated $69. Just tuning in. Wait, this blue whale only dates $1 million plus earners to cover the food bill. When her fatters gets in the car, the tire sensors pop on.
Bro. Oh my god.
Warlord 69 you donated $69. Baby farm. You are the ultimate farm when you're eating for more than 2 ppm. Do better.
Bro.
You guys only fuel the weight loss. Like, do you not realize I've already lost 70
Can you guys
pounds?
start fat shaming me, boys? I need to lose some weight.
Yeah, please
I got a dad bod.
start getting on him.
Get on me, guys. Fucking roast me.
Giovanni
This is the
JD
roast
donated
session. It's the roast session.
$69.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Growing a family with your loving
Thank you,
husband
Giovanni.
is a baby farm. Farming produces commodities. People with children don't see them as commodities. Exposed yourself and your view on children.
I'm just saying, if
By the
your
way,
husband
you were
wouldn't
totally
marry
antinatalist. I
you,
just want to point that out. Totally antinatalist.
Antinatalist.
like people who need help with
Babies.
getting pregnant.
You called my wife a breeder and said that she was a sex worker because she had my children.
I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to a certain point. Like,
Oh,
you
boy.
would not
No.
marry and provide for her if she could not have your children.
You should probably
Yeah, I don't think
abandon.
you understand the distinction in faith.
They talked
And
about
that
that.
within the
Yeah,
confines
she talked
of our
about how
faith,
he
it's
would
not even
still,
permitted.
he would not divorce her if she couldn't have children. But the beginning stages of their relationship were that they decided they were going to have children. If she said she didn't want to, he would not have married her and
Because
provided
they're
for
Christian.
her.
If there was a,
How do you even know that? You're
We
just making
talked to
these kind
her.
of
No, we talked to
broad-
her.
You're just kind of making these broad assumptions. But the thing is that she asked this fantastic question. So what? What would be the problem with a man having a preference of a woman who promises him children so his lineage can live on? How would that make her a prostitute? That's
It's not-
insanity.
That's not what I'm calling a prostitute. I'm saying that it's the ultimate form of sex work.
Then that would be the ultimate form of prostitution. What do you
They're
think
not the
sex work
same
is?
thing.
What's the difference?
She had to have
It's-
sex with you in order to make the children.
To say
There's
that
like-
modern dating
there's four
culture
coming
is
in.
unfair to men
True.
is too generous.
Four coming in.
It's anti-life. Men the marshal they provide and women are their dignity in exchange. Death for men, humiliation for women.
Wait, what?
Whatever.
It's anti-life. Men, the marshal they provide, either death. Thank you. Thank you for the
GMD
TTS,
Jim
man.
donated $69. Holy shite. Did the beluga say that Rachel is not attractive? Rachel is the most attractive woman currently on this show. Hey Crisco. You will never be worth 1% of Rachel Wilson.
I was saying, I didn't say that she was unattractive. I said there might be animosity towards Star because Star is considered more attractive.
Wolsey Poo donated $69. God, she's awesome, right?
What you're doing is you're making this kind of argument which says the only reason Rachel thinks this is because she's jealous of X. It's a non-argument, right? I can say the same thing.
No,
Say
I
the only
think it
reason you make
plays
an
into
antinatalist
everything.
argument is because you're jealous you don't have children. I wouldn't make such an argument because it's absurd. It's an absurd argument.
It's not
The
absurd
thing
to think
is,
that she has
it is absurd.
internalized
Prove it.
misogyny because a more attractive woman is trying to say that you are basically a
All
misogynist.
you're saying is that all that you're saying here with your argument is it's not absurd if it were true. That's not an argument. That's not demonstrating it's true. It's just asserting that it's true. Demonstrate Rachel Wilson is jealous of fucking any of you. Go ahead. I'll wait.
I'm sure deep down
wait.
she might be.
Okay. Are you going to demonstrate it or are you just going to assert it?
Excuse me. Sorry, guys.
It might be just an internal thing that
Right.
happens when
no
someone
evidence,
has
no
internalized
proof,
misogyny.
no logic, no nothing. You just made it up because you have no argument.
Okay, Andrew, you're the one who said that every woman sitting here is making judgments in their head about who's more attractive. So your
Yep.
wife doesn't do that.
No, I didn't say that she wouldn't make a judgment as to who's more attractive or less attractive, but that wouldn't make her jealous or not jealous.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. Are you saying that I could claim that another man is better looking than me and that would mean I was jealous of him? Or a woman could claim another woman is better looking than her and you're jealous of them? Does that even make fucking sense to you?
Yes, it could cause some animosity.
No. Stop inserting the word could. That's very sneaky with the language. Anything could do anything. Does it entail, if you understand a person next to you is more attractive than you, that means you're jealous of them? Does it actually mean that or not?
I think your wife might be jealous of the
You're not
fact
answering my
that
question. Answer the question. Don't divert again. Answer the question.
I think your wife could potentially be jealous.
Could, potentially, I think, no demonstration, no evidence, just wild assertions that you came up with on the cuff because you had no argument.
Hold on really quick. We'll get right back to it. Nick, you got to leave soon, right?